What up, Wolves? Blade Master here, back with some more Total War Room 2 tournament action. And if you're wondering why the game looks kind of different, it's because I've turned on a graphical, well, it's a SweetFX settings. It's a change in the SweetFX settings. I've turned on, I think, Drama's Dark European setting, so it makes the game look much more bleak and dark. And the reason why I've done that is because this is a different video. It's not, I kind of wanted to have a break from my usual videos and my usual video style. I'm going to be commentating on a match between Achilles and Attila, and this is the second round, the quarterfinals of the Total War YouTubers tournament. And Achilles earlier has beaten Graphics Rogue, and now he's going to be fighting up against Attila. So a match between two heavyweights. Attila has been in the Rome 2 scene for quite a while, and he's definitely a very good player. And I believe Attila has taken Boii, and Achilles has taken Rome. So very traditional. It looks like just a head-on barbarian on Roman engagement, and doesn't look like either have really bothered to bring a lot of skirmishes, or any skirmishes for that matter. Now, the deployment for Attila is kind of weird, and one thing that's kind of left unnoticed by many commentators and many players is that the deployment of a barbarian melee line really matters. So Attila has his center of 6 sword followers, and instead of keeping his general up in the middle of things, he's actually kept him on his right hand flank, or Achilles' left. So he's trying to overpower it. Either he's trying to overpower it, or he's trying to overcome the otherwise low melee strength of his other 2 units on his front line, which are 2 Axe Warriors. He's also got 1 Celtic Warrior behind them, and he's got 1 Levy Freeman behind his main line, and another Celtic Warrior behind his left flank. He's also got a couple more Levy Freemen, and a total of 5 Heavy Horse. Now, Achilles has gone with a pretty untraditional Roman line as well. He has taken a total of 6 Hastati, whom he has actually interspersed in his main barbarian-ish Roman line. He's also brought a total of 6 legionary cohorts, and I believe these are, the legionary cohorts are going to be interspersed in his main line. He's also brought a couple of Avocadi, whom he's not kept in his front line. He's also brought a total of 4 Saki Equites. So on the cavalry engagements, surprisingly, Boii has got the better of Rome. Actually, not very surprising, because Rome has not, it's got the short end of the stick when it comes to cavalry, since CA has decided to remove Draco. He's also brought 1 auxiliary Balearic Slinger and a Legatus General. So 1 Balearic Slinger really isn't too much. I don't really know what it can do. Now, Attila had initially moved up in front with his heavy horse and tried to fan out, but he's going to move them closer to his main line. In terms of the main line engagement, the sword followers should be able to beat legionary cohort. It'll be a very tough engagement, but since this is played in Dimity, which is a completely flat map, the sword followers will definitely have a huge advantage. The legionary cohort here will get destroyed, and that means a clear hole which will be punched through on this little engagement here. As for the rest, Hastati will get punched through here. The sword followers will be able to punch through Hastati here. I don't really know why the Hastati were kept in the main line just like that, but now getting back to the action. The heavy horse are chasing after the Saki Equites, flanked very well with these Levy Freemen, these Avocadis. Oh wow, that's a great move by Attila. He's immediately coming in and punching through this Hastati, attacking them in the rear, and they're about to waver very quickly. They're already on red morale. The Saki Equites over here are going to try and get the better of those heavy horse. The Avocadi have come to support there. Actually, this is going much better for Achilles, but here this is just terrible news for him, because the heavy horse has almost destroyed this Hastati, and now they're going to get into these auxiliary Balearic Slingers as well. But Achilles is going to have to sacrifice his general a little bit. They've already taken 3 casualties, but they're going to have to chase after this heavy horse. This Balearic Slinger is just about done. It's been useless. As I predicted, this Hastati hole has been punched through, and it's been punched through really quickly because of those heavy horse. Excellent move by Attila early on in the game. These Celtic Warriors are obviously going to lose out to a combination of Hastati and Avocadi cohort, but again, these Hastati have been rear charged by Saki Equites. Now, these Oathsworn, meanwhile, are just going to destroy these legionaries. They're just going to absolutely clatter them. But some of the Legatus General is going to hold off some of these Oathsworn so that they don't punch a hole through too quickly. You can see they've already destroyed here. The sword followers have also destroyed that Hastati over there. And now some of his Levy Freemen are going to come in to attack these legionary cohort. Definitely not looking very good for Achilles at this point. Looking actually really bad, because he's got some more. Attila's got some more heavy horse in the rear. They're going to chase or attack those Saki Equites. Meanwhile, the sword followers are just going to destroy these legionary cohort. This one is actually doing quite a good job in the first place. They were getting the better of those legionary cohorts in a head-on engagement because they got a clear charge with no hills and no forests to really impede that deadly charge bonus that they have. These Oathsworn, they have just destroyed that Roman line. Achilles is very clearly is going to lose this. I highly doubt he's going to win this. Actually, the Legatus General has died. So yes, this is GG time. The Barbarian Rush just obliterated the Roman line in a matter of seconds, basically, because of that excellent play by Attila, getting his one heavy horse and then microing really well to destroy that Hastati and just punch a hole through really quickly in Achilles' line. Now these Avocardi, they've done well. 109 kills is very good for them. But I was surprised why Achilles kept them in his second line. Now they just don't have as much of a pronounced effect on the main engagement as they could have had. Of course, they've gotten a single experience chevron, and they're going to be fighting up against some pretty weak Axe Warriors now. The Axe Warriors themselves have done quite well. 122 kills on one, 80 on the other, but I'm sure they were helped by that rear charge from the heavy horse over here, which led them to get a lot of kills for sure. Now the excess sword followers are just going to collapse onto the main line. These legionary cohorts, I believe these are legionary, no, these are Hastati, no, yeah, these are legionary cohorts. On 99 kills, they've done pretty well. I think they killed a lot of those Celtic warriors, but now they're going to get rear charged by sword followers, and that is not good for those legionary cohorts at all. As for the rest, Avocardis, they'll actually do pretty well now because they're going to be fighting up against some weakened sword followers and heavy horse. But again, I just think that it would have been a better idea to keep these guys in the main line and let them affect the battle as quickly as possible instead of using them as a rear unit. Maybe he should have kept some of his Astati in behind him, so they could like protect from rear charges or something, instead of deploying them in a straight-on huge barbarian line to try and counter the barbarians themselves. Now this Avocardi cohort is going to fight very valiantly. Let's put this on. When I use the European or whatever Dark European mode, when I put this on cinematic mode, it actually looks a lot different. I think there's a huge haze effect and stuff, and it looks pretty cool. It looks really it just looks like it's a war. Like there's just so much chaos. The whole fuzziness really impacts. Holy shit, look at that Avocardi. Wow, that was amazing. But as for the rest of the battle, it doesn't really look like it's going to go in Achilles' favor. These Avocardi cohorts have gotten 157 kills. Some of the Hastati have come back from routing. That Avocardi cohort, after being surrounded completely by sword followers, has finally given up, and they've all died or routed. Now it's going to be like 5 or 6 sword followers, one basically full strength Oathsworn, and some Levy Freemen who've actually got 61 kills, which is brilliant. Levy Freemen, 2 OP, please nerf CA. Just kidding. But yeah, they're going to be fighting up against some Hastati, some really depleted Hastati, and some Avocardis. The last few Avocardis who have willed their fellow soldiers on to fight for the glory of the Roman Legion. This is going to make for a pretty epic battle. We already know exactly what's going to happen now. Whoa. If I press K, I think if I press K, that increases the blur. That's so weird. I think that was the case. I don't know. But yeah, let's just put this on cinematic mode because this is going to look really cool. Some Hastati are going to be fighting up against sword followers here. The other sword followers are going to be fighting up against Avocardi cohorts. And yeah, the Avocardi cohorts will actually do pretty well there, but the sword followers, just far too many. Look at the barbarian. Oops, wow, that's a bad lag, but look at the barbarians over there. Just so many numbers. And yeah, at this point, I think it's GG to Attila. Costly victory. And yeah, Achilles was Rome. That would have been a huge noob mistake if Achilles was actually Boii. But anyways, let's take a look at the unit stats. The heavy horse, I'm not sure which was that legendary heavy horse that just rear charged those Hastati and then just systematically destroyed that Roman line. But whichever one it was, it might have been this 122 kills one. But that was the one unit that actually caused a huge impact in this game. In terms of numbers, the barbarians matched the Romans. Let's take a look. Let's take a really quick look. 6 plus 6, 12, 13, 14. And 14 units, 14 melee units. 6 here, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 actually. Yeah, the Romans outmatched the barbarians in terms of sheer numbers. The Hastati would have actually done pretty well against Axe Warriors, and Celtic Warriors would have beaten Hastati. But again, they could have just been used to hold off these troops and then use their excess numbers to try and either help out in the cavalry engagement, because of course the Romans did not bring any, not even a single a vigiles, not even a vigiles or an auxiliary infantry. So on top of having poorer cavalry in terms of quality and fewer numbers in cavalry, they just did not have any spear support. The levy freemen were actually used pretty well, but at the end of the day, they didn't really contribute too much. I mean, 68 and 47 kills is amazing for a unit that costs such less money. The Balearic Slingers were a huge waste on Achilles' part. Again, if you're going to deploy a huge line like this, and you're really going to try and maximize on your charge, and in terms of and when it comes to Roman lines, they just don't have the charge to really justify bringing a line like this. Using the Hastati as maybe a meat shield and as a speed bump in terms of blunting down these sword followers is excellent charge, and then using the superior melee strength of your Avocardies and your Legionaries to destroy the sword followers in melee would have been a better idea. Again, the Oathsworn was bound to destroy or just punch a hole through in the line, which is why I thought bringing the Avocardies up in front and then using them to kill or to attack the Oathsworn would have been a better idea, because fewer holes in that one line for the Romans means that they can actually withstand for the melee slaughter for a longer time. And yeah, that's basically it. That's my analysis. Anyways, guys, stay tuned for the next possible two matches in this between these two heavyweights. I think it's going to be an amazing battle. I mean, this was a very, very fun battle, but it was kind of decided within the first minute by that excellent use of heavy horse on by Attila the Great. Anyways, guys, that's the end of this battle. Hope you enjoyed it and stay tuned for more. Peace.